Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Just take what works for you, leave what is not for you. And also, this is a timely reading, meaning that you'll see it at exactly the perfect time for you. If it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on when I posted it in your life, that will give you a little more clarity in your situation. So we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we do have the Ten of Cups. Yay! The Ten of Cups is like ultimate fulfillment. So this is talking about, having everything you love in the 3D world and in the spiritual world. So it's talking about having the love of your life, some healthy, beautiful children, a home possibly in the country, it looks like. And the energy is talking about, you love your career, you love it, like it's just ultimate fulfillment, everything you can think of. Yay! Let's just stop the reading here. Okay, here we go. Here's the Judgment. And so Judgment, isn't that interesting? So Judgment is coming out regarding this happiness. This may be a reward that you're receiving, and you may be saying, hey, this is a real change. This is a 10 card, and we just moved from 2025, 2 plus 2 plus 5, excuse me, equals 9. And that represents like the end of actually a 10-year cycle, not just the end of a year. And we're moving into 2026, 2 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10. And if you break 10 down further, 1 plus 0 equals 1. So it's the beginning of a whole brand new decade-long cycle. Excuse me. Stella, my cat's on my lap. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so the Judgment is representing from up above, from the spiritual realm, and also down below. And we have the ancestors coming out of these boxes, and the descendants are on the other side waving to them. So this is saying that there's justice for you, your descendants, and your ancestors. So this could be something that happened a long time ago. Like if you think back even to 2015-16, that was 10 years ago from now, basically. What were you doing 10 years ago? And that may have something also to do with this. This can sometimes represent family secrets, like skeletons coming out of the closet that have been hidden for quite some time, or even like Pandora's box, like real family secrets. And then we have conviction without a doubt. This card is so funny. I was always reading this card as like, okay, you know what you know, and now you have conviction beyond a doubt. There's that you know where you're going. That's representing this wand is protecting the heart. And this person has two shoes or two different footwear on. One is a shoe and one's a boot. And so this could say, hey, was he in a rush and he had to defend himself against these people below him here? He's on higher ground. Or is this representing that he has one foot in one world and one foot in the other, which would imply that in 2026, this happiness, this fulfillment is coming in, and because there's some judgment that's been made. And the reason why I'm laughing is because that's how I read this card, conviction beyond a doubt. And then one of my community asked in the comments on one of my readings, are you talking about a prison sentence? And I was like, oh, I never thought of that. But now here we have this Judgment card again. This card's been coming in a lot, and this is conviction beyond a doubt. So that could mean that there is conviction in the legal world beyond a doubt. So if you've been waiting to hear about some situation where it doesn't, it appears that it's not about you, because you wouldn't be like this happy if there was conviction about a doubt and it was about you. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so this is the Five of Pentacles. So it seems like it's about pentacles. Pentacles in the tarot represent the health, wealth, and happiness, like your lifestyle in the 3D. And they also represent coin as part of that. Money. Money is just one of the energies of abundance. But there's 10 pentacles in the deck, in the tarot. And so this is saying you only have half the money you should have, kind of energy. There's two people that have been left out in the cold. This one is on crutches, and this one is like in their bare feet in the snow. And this one's wearing a bell around their neck because that's what they used to do in the old days. Now we have mandates. So like in the old days, if there was plagues, they would make someone wear a bell, and then you would be able to hear them coming and get out of their way if they came in anywhere near you. So of course, I mean, that meant that you didn't have any connection with other people, and you were not part of society anymore, making it very challenging to get work, I'm sure. So this is the energy, and quite often this represents tactics that people have used to cause this to happen to other people. Or it could represent like factors such as the economy, a war that happened in your country, something like that. So it's sort of a situation out of your control due to circumstances brought on by other people. And the reason this is the snowflakes are, if you have ever put up with a flake or two, it's not that big a deal. But if you have a whole bunch of people gathering together, a bunch of flakes, just like snow, when it gathers, it becomes a lot of work. Like you have to shovel it, you have to get your car out of it. It's more challenging to drive in the winter. I'm from Canada, so I'm aware of snow. And in the beginning, it'll be like, oh, it's so pretty. And then after, a month of it or so, and if you've ever lived in the prairies in Canada, it can be like 4 or 5 months of minus 25, minus 30 weather, minus 40 sometimes, minus 50 on really bad days with the wind chill. And that kind of energy, it wears you down, like having to shovel your driveway just to get out of your home. And, just really short days, long nights. It's just, it wears a person down after a while, especially if you don't have a home. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles coming in with information about the Pentacles. So this makes sense. This reading, this energy will not let go here. A lot of my readings have been about situations such as this. But this is a collective reading, so this is why it can be explaining as individual situations as well as a collective situation around the world, because we're all going through a lot of changes right now. When you turn on the news, you turn it off right away. If there's just only so much you can take. There's a lot of truths coming out now, and that's kind of the energy that we're in general. We're moving into the year of the horse on the 17th of February in the Chinese New Year. So if you already blew your New Year's resolution, you're 10 days in now as I do this reading. And this is, you'll have another opportunity to succeed on February 17th. And we are leaving the year of the snake to move in on February 17th into the year of the fire horse. So the fire horse energy, there's it's a real awesome energy for having enthusiasm, being free-spirited, moving into the new, wanting to, go at a gallop, let's get going, like kind of energy. And it's also can be on the negative, very impulsive. And if you are not careful, it can be like a driving force that causes you to really burn out, like taking on way too much in too short of a period of time, because not really recognizing that. And so there's so many good things about the free-spiritedness and love. It means you're more passionate, and horses have really big hearts. The burnout factor is there, and also if you're on foot and you start going in the wrong direction, you're not going to get that far. But if you're on a horse, you can go pretty far. Plus, if you've ever seen a horse really get spooked or something and they get the bit in their mouth, if you've ever had that happen, they can run fast, and you're just hanging on for dear life in that situation. You have no control over where that horse is going. And that's the kind of energy. It can cause a lot of impulsiveness and almost aggressive behavior, because A horse is a big animal, right? And so in this case, the Knight of Pentacles is coming through here with some form of communication. And it seems to be about these lost pentacles and the reason why why you've been left out in the cold. And the pentacle is, as I said, it can represent coin, but it also is your health, your wealth, your happiness, everything that you want on the 3D planet. He's overseeing the area here, and he is deciding, okay, which way am I going to go? The knights would work for the king and the queen and deliver messages far and wide, from the outside of the palace walls, and when you think about it, they would have to go for miles and miles sometimes to other countries, deliver the message, and then they would have to go all the way back to deliver it. These days, of course, we have instant communication. So the energy is more about a phone call, a text message, it could be an email. It could be a social media post that you see, something on the news that's happening. Quite often what we see on the news is happening at different levels with the people below the government and, the kings and the presidents and the prime ministers that control the quality of life in the country you live in. And so this energy is talking about, it's taken a while for this to come in, but generally when the Knight of Pentacles does come through, they are very much like steady. It's a solid offer or a solid information that he has taken the time to make sure is true, and gotten that to the best of his ability. And the only problem with this energy is sometimes it takes so long that by the time it gets there, you don't even care anymore. But you care this way because this is about being stabbed in the back and left for unalive. This is the energy. So this is what the judgment is about. So somebody has been left in this position, and that maybe is what this judgment is about. It's about conviction beyond a doubt that this happened, and this is it was over money of some kind. And this person, this card doesn't usually mean death, it means an end of a cycle. So he's looking into the distance, and his hand here, if you notice, is in the form of a blessing, the same as the Hierophant card. And this is saying that, although this would have been very challenging, this can represent being stabbed in the back by one person 10 times. It could be having 10 years, because we're ending the decade period and moving into the new. It could be 10 different people, 10 different communities, that kind of energy, and being left for unalive and just laying there, but this sometimes this means blessing in disguise, because if judgment is called and justice is served, then you will have whatever was taken to you restored to you tenfold. And the people that any one that goes to this extent to harm another human being is someone that has put some thought into it. Like it's, and it could be groups of people, it could be a lot of people. And so that energy is, they will be stopped. Usually they get, you're not the only victim. They probably have a lot of victims. They might have been doing this for decades, because the ancestors are wanting justice too, right? So yeah, this is, that's the blessing, is that this will be put to a stop. Conviction without a doubt. There we have it. I have to thank that. I'm sorry I cannot remember your name, but if you're watching, thank you, because it was a good point to make. It also conviction, when I looked it up, the definition can mean in the Bible, from the Bible's context, is that you have sinned and you're asking for redemption. So, in the end, it's a blessing in disguise for everybody involved. The King of Swords energy is coming in here now. So the King of Swords is generally someone that earns their living using their words, like in the professional industry. It can definitely represent a judge, prosecutors, lawyers. It would be someone very high up in the legal system or in the political system. or an influencer, you know, someone that is speaks for a living. It's about using the swords represent thoughts and your mental intelligence and your ability to use your mind to be able to earn your living, and also, you know, just to facilitate life on the planet. The King of Swords is very much aware that words can be used as weapons, for sure, and that he can cut through the bullshit, see through it. Very good at paperwork, that kind of energy, like following systems and finding discrepancies in systems. So this is someone that could have been hired to bring this judgment through, or this could be the person, this is the only individual we have right now that is someone that this could be about, and we don't know who this, if this is you, or if you're the King of Swords and you've hired the King of Swords, we're not sure yet. So we'll keep going here. Yeah, there we have it. Okay, so I am building a pyramid here, and this is the bottom steps, and this is talking about the tools that you have to get through, to get to this ultimate happiness. I'm so glad we saw this card. Why couldn't I would apologize, but I don't have control over the readings I do. This is the energy that wants to come through, so this is the energy that's coming through. And this is maybe someone in the collective really needs to have someone like, you know, that they can even at least bounce their energy off of this and kind of get maybe a different view of their situation. So we have the shift disturber here. The shift disturber is sneaking away with these 5 swords, but they've left 2 planted here. And now this is a walking contradiction. What is this person doing? I mean, they're not a thief in the night, because they are a thief in broad daylight, if that's what they're doing, is stealing these swords. Now, there's a village in the background. Did they steal them from the people in the village? Or did they steal them back from people in the village that stole them from them? And you know that. And what do these 2 swords represent? And this person is looking backwards, moving forward. They're on tiptoe. So they're trying to be really quiet, but they're in broad daylight. And they're not watching where they're going. And so this card says there is some sort of thievery. Sometimes this can talk about identity theft, forgery, that kind of energy. White collar crime is what's coming up here. White collar crime. There we go. So it's done in the broad daylight. It's not like someone's, you know, with a weapon, threatening someone in that way, like not in the broad daylight anyway. They may be doing that at night, but in the daylight, it's like they're using paperwork and words, and, you know, it could be like slander, reputation, you know, gossip, forgery, identity theft. There's so many crimes out there. And with AI now, it's so much easier for people to get away with different scams, in that they're becoming more and more, it's more and more challenging to be able to tell. You know, AI is getting better at what AI does. So this is saying there could be some form of, it also could be your intellectual material being stolen. And so this is saying that if you have anything to do with someone and you're suspicious, make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's. You know, be really careful around that person. And the Queen of Wands is on here. And so is this about the Queen of Wands? Are you the Queen of Wands? Or are you the King of Swords? Now, these are archetypes, so I want to bring, just to your awareness that the Queen could be a male in his feminine energy, and the King could be a female in her masculine energy. And the Queen of Wands is considered like one of the most sexy of all the queens. She's a natural beauty, has a really sunny disposition, is very popular because she's fun to be around, and she doesn't, she doesn't have a bad temper or anything like that. She's pretty laid back. She has passion though. So she's someone that, this wand represents the tree of life. And there's like, the trees have really strong roots, deep roots, which are the ancestors, and the offshoots represent the descendants. This is someone, the veil in the background represents that the division between spirituality and the physical world. So she has a really good grip on that. So she's very much able to use her intuition as well as her logic to be able to come to creative solutions to solve problems. And she's not someone that would involve herself in gossip, or even she's kind of very independent, and she's the one who sets the tone. So if people are gossiping about her, she probably doesn't even notice. It's that kind of energy. She has a black cat, and a lot of people, would not have a black cat, especially, when this was drawn up, this was like 100 years old, or it's 70 some years old now. So a lot of people feel black cats bring bad luck. They also have 9 lives, and here we are with the 10th sword in us, right? So, and we have temperance. So this is the wands represent the fire signs, the element of fire. They represent action. So that's the Aries and Sagittarius and Leo. So this energy is talking about taking action, being really passionate, and movement. The Temperance card, on the other hand, this is actually represents Sagittarius energy, and but it's saying having the patience to be able to wait for this information to come in and be resolved. So you may be in the Sagittarius energy, and the Queen of Wands is one of the fire signs. So she is she represents the element of fire. So this is saying that you've had patience and stayed on you were devoted to your path. You're pouring into yourself, both from the physical and the spiritual world. The sun in the back shows this is God. You're a child of God. And some people feel like this represents earth angels. She's got one foot in the universal world and another foot grounded on land. So that represents being like in between these two worlds. And this could be saying again that this is happening right on in between 25 and 26 kind of energy, whatever she's been patiently waiting for is now coming into being. And this temperance also says that this is, some people feel this is what a lot of people refer to as an earth angel, someone God sent to earth to empower humanity on the planet. And then we have lovers here. So part of course, the cups represent romantic love quite often. If they don't represent romantic love, it's most likely that's what they represent. But if they don't represent romantic love, then it could be that something you love to do, something you love to be, something, and others that you love, like your children, your parents, that kind of energy. So the Lover's card is really when this tarot first came out, it represented choices, like between people who you're going to have in your life, and the angel is saying with these lovers that like there's a cloud between them. This is just indicating that they don't know each other maybe as well as they think they do. And so but the sun is here and there's an angel here. So this is saying, I feel like what this is saying is that one of these lovers is an earth angel, basically, or it could be both are. They were destined to be together. This sometimes represents the twin flame energy that you may sometimes hear about, that you've heard about. It's when two souls are like one. And so this can sometimes also represent your masculine and feminine energy coming together really strong, so that you, and this is your higher self, so that you are really able to decipher what your path is, because you're on the higher self network, HSN. It's like MSN, but the difference is with the higher self network, you're on it 24/7, and you may not even be aware that you are on the higher self network. This is The Two of Wands is representing, yes, so it looks like it could be like the King of Swords and the King of Wands have met and they were destined to meet, and it was because of this energy. We sometimes what's the movie that I'm thinking of here? I can't remember the name of the movie, but Kevin Costner was in it with the singer. I can't remember the famous. It's a love story about a bodyguard that was protecting someone. It's weird energy like that that I'm picking up. It'll come to me. I don't know. When I'm in this zone, sometimes names don't come to me. But this is representing someone that's wants to investigate, right? Wants to expand their horizons and see, hey, what else is out there? And we have two, like before, this is representing here, we have one wand, but now we have two. And so this could be getting together with someone and going off and, this represents the world, having the world in your hands and moving forward together in a whole new way. This represents also, like this person is standing at the top of their turret, of their castle, and they are like saying, I want to expand my horizons. I've accomplished everything I can. And this could be, I've accomplished everything I can or want to alone. And now I have there's two wands here now. And I want to move forward with my partner. It could be that kind of energy. And this can be saying like, I feel like I'm a big fish in a small pond kind of energy. This could represent also making a move, like actually that you have a move coming up, or just making a move, like a change in your career, a change in your lifestyle, something like that. Now, I hope this isn't about changing to this lifestyle or wondering how did this happen kind of energy. Yes, Stella, you can sit on my lap. And then we have, okay, this is good. We have the star energy coming in. So this is saying you are meant to be a star, and you're meant to add your special, unique qualities to the universal waters and pour that onto earth. And there's 5 streams coming out of this vessel, and those 5 streams represent the pentacle here. So I feel like this is saying that perhaps you went through this difficult period because you needed to meet this detective or private, this person that wants to investigate or has been investigating. And it turns out that they happen to be your soulmate. I mean, weird things happen. What is the name of the actress? She's very famous, beautiful woman. She's passed on now. It's on the tip of my tongue. And if in the comment box below, if you're listening, I can't see it right now, but it'll bug me if I can't. Whitney Houston. Yay. Okay, it came to me. Yikes. I think that was the movie called The Bodyguard, and that beautiful song that she sings, that I will always love you. That's what I'm hearing. So it's kind of like that kind of energy. Only, like, let's see if you stay together. In that movie, they recognized that once she was no longer in danger, that he would be bored if he was just like a regular guy. And she was, off on her career again, singing. So, but they would always love each other, and loved each other enough to realize that they both needed to move on in their own direction. That's a beautiful love story. Maybe not what, but maybe, who knows, maybe that's part of the energy here. We'll see. We have really wanting to resolve this energy. And the judgment is here now. And what this is saying, the universe is saying, this person was supposed to have this money. You were supposed to have this money to go on your destined path. And this is going to stop. Like that, there's judgment being called here. Like, what are you doing? This is God's plan, and you think you're going to change God's plan. This is one of God's stars. This could be we're all, by the way, the scientists have discovered now, because there's all this water here, that stars are actually made up of water, just like people are mostly made up of water. And, you know, when we're babies, we come out of the amniotic fluid. So it's talking about, you know, that you are stardust, basically. Everyone's a star. Every human's a star and was meant to shine. And so if you have been unable to fulfill your purpose because someone stole what was yours to be on this journey, then but that could have been part of the path of you meeting this person, because now they're the one that's, you know, empowering you to get this money that's missing back. That's how the universe works. So this is about going inward, hanging your thoughts on the wall and laying them to rest while you pray or meditate here, or both, and we have look at here, that stained glass window. It looks like they did go in the church to ask for some guidance from God. Which direction should we go now? And on this window is the word Pax, P-A-X, which means peace. So this is talking about having peace of mind now, knowing that, hey, my divine partner, imagine that, like here's this, my hero anyway, because finally someone is going to do something about this situation. And it turns out that, you know, they're my divine partner on top of everything else. Now, how weird is that? I thought that only happened in the movies. So it's pretty cool. And this is again saying the hermit goes up to the top of the mountain and they isolate themselves. And they isolate themselves so that they can commune one-on-one with God. When they get the information that they need, the lantern represents that enlightenment. And the rod here, the golden rod, represents that the light has shone on this rod now. And it's now it's golden. And so it's saying your path is destined, and this is what you need to do to get on your destined path and have everything happen. And so there needs to be resolution of this, of course. I feel like there is gossip, slander, because this is talking, like this is, when you look at this card, you think, oh my goodness, like there's someone's heart, they've got 3 swords through it. But when you look again, you realize, oh, that heart is big compared to the swords. So, you know, they're more like nails. You know, this person might be able to recover from this, right? And this could be a cliff in the background with a cloud above, or this could represent the shoulders, neck, and the head of someone. And they have not been able to speak their truth or get someone to listen to them about what happened to them. And the energy is, if there was gossip or slander, to ruin someone's reputation, so that they're in this position where they can't get work anywhere. There's been a lot of energy and effort put into it, and there's been some tactics involved, like that are like higher up tactics. So it can talk about you know, communities gathering together and gang stalking, that kind of energy. And generally when that happens, it's because they want some money. If you ever want to know why someone did what they did, some people will do anything for money. And I mean, they'll do anything to their families, to their own children, you know, and that's why some of these might be descendants that also want justice here. And so this energy is talking about being able to speak about what happened, the truth coming out. And also, you know, this can represent a heartbreaking decision has to be made. And it can also represent, of course, some, you know, matters of the heart, like in your romantic life. And quite often with the 3 swords there, it represents there was a third person involved in what was supposed to be a couple. And then, oh, there we have the confirmation there. Yeah, I'm tired of these people. Okay, there's good news about this card, but with all this information here, it's talking about, you know, you're in an elevated position right now, or at some point you were, and people were noticing that you had mastery of your skill set. So that's awesome. You're in an elevated position. This could mean that you could be like, with this energy, this could even be a surgeon, right? And So it's kind of, this can represent someone that's been going to university and college and for several years to get their degree. And also it could represent, because this is a stonemason, it can represent someone that's in the trades and they're doing really good work, and it could represent like having your ticket now, that kind of energy. It could also be someone who's involved in sports and the scouts are out looking for you, because that's a talent, that not that many people have. So what it means is you're standing out and people want to collaborate with you, which is awesome. But this card quite often talks about secret society energy. And what it's saying is if you, and especially with this energy down here, if you are going to collaborate with people and sign any papers or anything like that, or involve them in your business, in your life in any way, whether it be in a love relationship or it be in a, like a business or your career or something like that, you want to make sure they're totally in alignment with your goals. You need to be in charge of that. It's really important because this is saying that there could be some shifty energy behind the scenes here, and you need to be aware of that, like that it's sneaky energy behind and right in broad daylight too, which implies that there's a lot of people involved that are working together or they wouldn't get away with it, right? And people in high positions supporting their actions. And so, and then like normally this card would be, you're the Fool is on his journey, and the very first card, he's at the 0 point, and the very first card he comes across is the Magician, and the Magician is pointing as above, so below, and he's pointing to the Earth Angel and to this authority figure. So now I'm wondering, is this authority figure part of this energy, right? Because it's sitting right in between. And who is the Queen of Wands? Is this person involved, or is this, or is this you? Because this is representing you in the beginning, or it's representing having to protect yourself from this energy, right? And they've put a lot of energy into it. And this is then talking about, when it's following this energy, this is talking about black magic. This is talking about someone using dark forces and putting a lot of energy into it and using the tools of their trade to bring harm to this situation. And this could be pointing to again, a judge or something in the Supreme Court, someone up high, like that is either bringing justice or is part of the problem as well. So let's see, because the Magician is pointing downward to below to this energy here. And in the middle is the Earth Angel energy. So let's see what's going on. Okay, we have tools, obstacles that you're going to come up against on your journey. And then we have the courage to be able to face it. And that's this card right here. So this is talking about the red lion represents fear. And quite often the fears from your subconscious mind that are developed when you are a young child, under the age of 7 generally. And when our subconscious mind it heavily imprints us. But when you think about it, how much do you remember of your childhood, like when you were a baby and up to the age of 6 or 7 before you started kindergarten? What do you remember? Not that much. And so we have to rely on the people that were in charge of our care to tell us how we were and whatever. And now, like of course, we have a lot more photos and video and all of that with the energy, so you can actually see yourself more. But just like that's just in the last 20, 30 years. Most people didn't have a cell phone to record everything, right? And so the energy is like some children, like even in the 1950s and 60s, there's a few pictures of you, but they're kind of blurry, and some of them are black and white, and there's just not, it's not like these days when you're taking 100 photos a day of your baby and then posting it on social media sort of energy. So this is talking about having to face whatever the fears were that you may not even be aware of. And because the subconscious mind, when we get upset or we're stressed out, that's the thoughts that we rely on. That's the first thoughts that come to us quite often when we're in fear. And so this represents having the courage to face all of this energy. And there is a lot of negative energy here. Like in the second role here, what you need to, overcome the obstacles, it's really more, look how positive that is, and then we're here is having the courage to face what happened. And yeah, it's just that kind of energy. And then, okay, fulfillment. So this is about your heart's desires. So this is talking like for you, your heart's desires, your fulfillment. This represents the marriage card. And so you might have always wanted to get married and have kids and maybe live in the country, and have time to be with your neighbors and that. This is talking about the beginning of a life of fulfillment, like the early stages of ultimate fulfillment, that you're on your way, you're doing really well. This is talking about also the 111 or 1111 portal, which is a portal of energy. It's a bunch of synchronicities that the universe throws at you to alert you to what's going on. The 1111 portal is like, all of a sudden you'll start noticing, you'll look up at the clock and it'll be 1111 or 111. You'll, go to pick up a package and you look up, okay, where is the store where I need to pick this up? Oh, it's at 1111 11th Avenue. That kind of energy. A vehicle drives by you. The plate is 111. And what that is the universe is telling you through synchronicity to watch your thoughts, because you're manifesting at a very high level and you want to keep your thoughts on the what you want, not on what you don't want or on the negative that's happened, on the resolution of that. And quite often you'll catch yourself and you'll be, when you're driving and you're like on automatic pilot and you're thinking about something that happened in the past, then a 111 license plate drives by you and you go, oh, and the universe is saying, quit thinking about that. What is it that you want? You want this marriage, you want this happy family, healthy children, all of that. And so this is basically saying you're well on your way to having this ultimate happiness. You have enough money, you've saved up enough money to make the down payment on your castle, which is a huge accomplishment. And now it's, but you still have to make the mortgage payments. So you have to stay focused, you have to stay in the game, because there's still all this energy out here that I don't feel like judgment has, we see conviction beyond a doubt, but we don't see any message of conviction beyond a doubt. This is about rowing off to calmer waters with God. So letting go of this, and that's right after I said about this thought, letting go of all these thoughts about this. And now, you've met your partner and they're your bodyguard now. And it's a love story. So it's not as bad as it was. But you notice there's two swords here and there's two swords here. So sometimes this can talk about innovative thinking, also thinking outside the box on how to get out of a situation. And but in any case, this is representing the rough waters and wanting to move on to smoother, calmer. This is representing emotions and moving forward. And it's almost like here, like this is 6 swords, and you're only missing one thought. So it's kind of saying there might be still one thought. This is representing the conveyor of taking this boat back and forth across the water. This conveyor has to dig very deep. That means you have to dig very deep to be able, and this could represent a couple with a child, right? But like sometimes this is someone that just ferries people back and forth on the water. And you have to dig very deep with that pole to get to the bottom to push off. This is a the type of boat that it is. And then we have the energy coming in of the Knight of Wands. Now we have some communication. So this is a rebel with a cause, and it looks like they're coming in. Now this represents someone that has, this is Sagittarius energy as well. So it may represent that, okay, the time for waiting around has come to an end now. This is resolved. This problem is no longer yours to deal with. There's a rebel coming in here with a cause, and he's going to make sure that the information gets to where it needs to go. And we have the pyramids in the background here, which represent the mysteries of life. And this energy is talking about someone that he's got a big plume on his helmet, and it's saying he could be a real hothead. But notice how he's reining in this horse. And this is fire horse energy. So February 17th, this energy is coming in. So, pay attention to that. It's kind of that kind of energy. And this is saying, be very careful. Don't be impulsive here. Remain calm. Just move forward in your life and keep your eye on the prize. This is the prize. This ultimate fulfillment is yours to have. It's going to require you reining in your emotions and being really just letting the process happen here, understanding that God's in charge, the universe is on your side, and now someone in the law is actually on your side. So this can represent that there has been an investigation by higher up, FBI, CIA, like that kind of energy. So, and they're passionate about finding out the energy, what really happened here. And then look at this. Because of that, you're on a new journey now, and you're at the 0 point. So you've completed the cycle. I really feel this is saying that by February 17th, you may notice a big change in your situation, or might get some communication coming in regarding this situation. So you may not have met this person yet, but behind the scenes, they are working on this. And you may not even realize, if it's something that's involving a lot of people, we see this there's so much in the news around this right now. It's just so much information coming in about shift that's happening on the planet. And, people are getting, the truth is coming out left, right, and center about things that happened a long time ago. There's so much out there. And so this energy that's happening at the top in the world is also happening down below, and probably happening in the universe. My oracle that will be clarifying this with is Tales from the Vector, and it's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And it's talking about whatever is happening on Earth, as above, so below. And so look at here, we have growing off to calmer waters with God. The magician is saying, this temperance, your patience has paid off, because there is a justice figure that is going to look after this. Now, we'll see what that energy is, because this justice figure is sitting in between this energy here after this information comes in. I feel that this is someone that actually is going to make sure, cut through the bullshit and find out what actually happened here. And then, okay, we have reconciliation. So this Six of Cups, quite often, a lot of readers take this as being you're reuniting with someone from the past. But if it's someone that broke your heart and left you like this, do you really want to reunite with them? That's the energy, right? But this can also represent family and where you were brought up, when you were a child. Because when you first look at this card, it looks hey, there's a couple of children playing together, and there's all these cups with flowers in that represents innocence, and the white flowers represent innocence, and there's a watchman in the background looking over them. But when you look again, you realize, hey, that's a gnome, and that looks like it's a small woman. Now, is that a hag, or is that a young woman? Because if you look at it one way, it looks like a young woman, and if you look at her the other way, it looks like she's an old hag. Plus, she's wearing a white mitt. She doesn't want to get her hands dirty. And the flowers that are in these cups are actually from the nightshade family. They're highly poisonous, and so they're not that innocent. And they actually are datra. And so it's sometimes used in ceremonies by shamans, to create visions, illusions. And so, nothing is what it seems in this card. The watchmen, when you look, they're not watching over the children. They're walking away down the path there. They could care less about the children because they're not even children. It's that kind of energy. And so this can be saying there's a lot of illusions from your childhood that you didn't know. And this can also talk about this past energy is what's causing, just the way it's lined up here. This past energy is what's caused you to be out in the cold. It's people from you that you've known for a very long time. This can be reconciliation. Now, the path to reconciliation, the first step is forgiveness. And that's what this card is about, is being able to forgive. And, forgive yourself, forgive the actions of people, and forgive for the first step of reconciliation. But when you forgive someone, that's not saying that that you are condoning their actions in any way, shape, or form. And it's also not saying that you ever want to have anything to do with them again. As a matter of fact, if someone's done this to you and this to you with a group of people, why would you want to take a chance? Why would you want to take that risk, especially when the cups they're offering you are full of illusions? So this is something that you have to really, and she's wearing a white mitt. She doesn't want to get her hands dirty. That's the energy. So that's kind of, it's kind of this energy, right? And you've learned discernment. After being through this and surviving it, you've dug deep to be able to understand, hey, there's some people you just can't trust, and you're better off not having them in your life. And here is a person sitting here and looking at their money and saying, hey, I had 6 pentacles here. And I poured all this work into this, into what I was doing. And I have this much out of it, 1 pentacle. What happened to it? I want justice here. I want resolution. I want my money back. That's the energy. I want some justice here. And this is talking about having to wait again, being patiently waiting. But now this is saying it's out. And, if you wait, the hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge. And when the information that they need to proceed moving forward comes, their head lights up like this. It's representing the aura. And it's talking about enlightenment from the divine, about the which way to go. And this is talking about shedding light on what happened here. And the dark energy that caused this. That's, and we have this energy coming in. And the thing is about snow, like especially like in the prairies where winters last 4 or 5 months sometimes. If you have people that own dogs and they let their dogs out to go to the bathroom and they don't clean up after them, it's like layers and layers and layers, and it's frozen because it's in the snow. And sometimes you just can't pick it up because the snow, is too deep or whatever, it just snowed. But if you don't go out there and clean it up as best you can in between snowfalls, then in the spring, when the snow melts, and that's what this is saying, eventually the snow melts, and these snowflakes that ganged up together to do this, they're going to melt. And then what they did is going to be exposed, and it's going to smell very bad. Trust me, when you have a few months in the sun, the spring sun is shining on it now, and it's no longer frozen. Everybody in the neighborhood knows something shifty is smelling here, right? And it exposes, like if you walk by, you can see it, and it's disgusting. And that's the energy that this is going to be exposed, and it's going to be public. I'm getting it. This is bigger energy than, because it just won't stop coming into the readings. But that's okay, because there's a reason why that's happening. So this is representing being in a mental prison. And it also can actually represent physical prison, conviction beyond a doubt. these people have left so many, like they've been blatantly doing this because they felt like they've been getting away with it for, at least a decade and maybe 4 decades because the ancestors are here. So I feel that the reason this keeps coming up is because this needs to be resolved, because this is not, if this is you out there and it's finally looking like you're going to get justice, rest assured that you are not the first person they've done this to. They've gotten good at it. They've been. It's a system that they've created here, and what's it about? Follow the money. Do they have a new car? Did they suddenly out of the blue get a new car, buy a house, and get a new car? And you're like, huh, that's wild. My neighbor's, now moving to a mansion and they got a car, but they have the same job that they've had for, that kind of energy. Wow, hey, congratulations to them. They must have come across an inheritance or something. This is juggling. Juggling pentacles. Ugh. I'm tired of this energy, but judgment. This is again saying, even though if you've been waiting and waiting for judgment to come in, it will come in. This is talking about someone multitasking. This is about, and multitasking can be really beneficial, but with this energy, they're juggling money. And that may mean that because the rebel with the cause is coming in with this kind of energy, and there's information right down here all the way down. Like, I wonder who took the money, that kind of energy. I wonder who took this money. Oh, where did my money go? If you go down this line, who was involved? That kind of energy. And so this is talking about juggle your options, but don't juggle your morals kind of energy. And then we have, look at that, the King of Cups is at the top. So the King of Cups is sitting on his throne, and he is out in the middle of this choppy water, and he really is chill. Like, he's been there, done that. He understands. He had to learn to rein his emotions in a long time ago. But I feel that energy of the horse, the passion that's coming from that, it's talking about, this isn't just about the money, and it isn't just about the lifestyle, but it's also about you also receiving the love that you deserve, and in particular, a romantic love from someone who's actually emotionally available and understands what's happened here, and knows how, and understands that the time is not right at this time to come through. But it's not that you're not lovable. It's not that you don't, you might stick out like a sore thumb, but you don't stink like this. If you're homeless, you might not smell as good as you used to. But hey, you're not going to smell like what these people did. So that's the energy. And the King of Cups is saying, ultimately, this happiness belongs to you. This is the past. Okay, so the judgment is now coming in. There's been a lot of meditation, prayer over this, going, isolation, having to isolate yourself for your own protection. And rejection is God's protection at times. We have the Fool on a different journey here from what they were on, and now there could be a possible reconciliation, or this could just be talking about an illusion being brought to light from people that you've known, from when you were a child. Juggling morals and as well as options, and juggling money. Then the King of Cups is sitting at the top of this energy and coming back down. This could represent, okay, the mental prison. You notice the right foot is moving forward and his right foot is moving forward. So the King of Cups knows how to deal with this to get you out of the mental prison that you're in. And this could actually represent actual physical prison, seeing that we have conviction in the courts, beyond a doubt. We have light has been shed on this situation. You will receive the fulfillment because you had the courage to face your fears and speak your truth, finally being able to speak your truth. And this is about the Queen of Wands. that could possibly be you. And remember, the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups, if they're together, this could be a man in his feminine, and this could be a woman in her masculine. But this couple, it feels like this is the couple that comes together and gets past all this energy. Like this energy here is being brought to the light. That's what I feel is the energy here, to bring this ultimate happiness in, because ultimately this was the underlying energy for this reading. Oh, and at the bottom of the deck there is the Wounded Warrior. So this is talking about the actions taken here. I mean, when people put that much effort into something, they don't have good intentions for you. So if you were thinking, is it just my imagination, or are these people like really trying to ruin, absolutely destroy me? Yes, they were. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a miracle that there we have it. It's a miracle you've survived it. So the card from my oracle already wants to come in. If you're enjoying this reading, or if you're not enjoying it, I would prefer to do a different reading too. But give it a like and comment, because someone needs to hear this. Maybe someone's in this situation right now, and they need to feel like, hey, people care about them. And we have, I'm going to use my oracle, Tales from the Vector, to clarify this. I started it in 2007. I completed the 64th painting in 2020. And now I'm gathering the information to bring it out into physical, the actual deck out. And I'm working with you online here to gather the information, to write it up and bring it out. I will put that in the description box below in the order that the cards come up. And we have Deception. So this is confirming that there was a threesome. There was a third party involved in what you thought was a relationship, and they were involved. Both of them were involved in leaving you like this. There was deception, hex in the city, and hex in the city. They were doing dark magic, yeah. And it's like the thing, like a lot of people are so afraid of that, and they really believe like these people have control over you. They only have control over you if you believe that they have control over you. If you, this is kind of saying, like, look at the energy here. If you are in broad daylight and someone's holding a black something in their hand, and then the sun's out and it's a sunny day, are you going to notice that ball or whatever that's in their hand, that crystal or whatever that's dark? But if someone is in the blackest of nights and there's no street lights on, and someone lights a match, you're going to see that light from a mile away. Yeah. The moral of the story is stay on your path with God. Bottom line. This is not going to be pretty for the people, especially if this has been percolating for a few generations here. It's justice, I guess. It's sad because it's also unnecessary. We live in such an abundant planet and universe, and here we are doing this to another human being. Still. That's why I'm getting tired of this energy coming up in my readings all the time. We have strength here. So it's reconfirming. It's going to take, there needs to be some integrity, and it's going to take courage. A lot of people are afraid to speak up. A lot of people are afraid of this energy. They don't want to be in this position, and so they might be being blackmailed or extorted in some ways, and they don't see a way out, kind of energy, or they just are too afraid to speak up, and that's why they're left out. And it's been like that since they were children. So it's like, that's, how old are you? That is watching this right now, because that can be decades, right? And so that's why the ancestors are cheering, finally someone's doing something about this. And Sagittarius energy on here. So I just want to say that when my oracle has cards coming out that are to do with the zodiac. My intention is not to say, oh, a Sagittarius did this, or I'm, you know, like that kind of energy. It's not it's more about the state of being of that sign. Like, what can we learn from that energy, and what is it, you know, what stages of life is that in? So Sagittarius is someone who, it's about traveling the world and gathering a lot of knowledge and information, and about expansion, wanting to really expand your mind and expand your horizons, and, you know, just really travel the world. And that can be some of the best ways. When my preferred method of learning about the world is traveling and meeting people from other cultures and enjoying the differences in, you know, in everybody. It's awesome. The trauma queen. This is like, you know, life could be exciting enough. Why do you want to bring drama into life? Like, why? Because probably someone has been traumatized, and perhaps, you know, they're in that fight or flight or freeze, like where they're too afraid to fight. They are too scared to run, or they know they can't run because there's a bunch of people gang stalking them. So every time they leave the house, someone's following them, like, you know, and tracking them down, and you know, trying to put the fear of life into them, or the fear of death into them, or life into them, whatever. Can't remember how that's said. So, and it can cause people just to be stuck forever in this energy. And they're all stuck. That's the thing. Like, it's so ridiculous. Everybody's stuck. So this is about, you know, if you're traumatized when you're younger, and you're around peace, being in a peaceful state, and you're around peaceful people, it can feel really weird. And sometimes people actually cause drama and trauma because it makes them uncomfortable not to have it around, because that's all they know. And so that's why judgment belongs to God, because you don't know what someone's been through that would cause them to behave in this way. Having said that, it needs to stop. There needs to be, you know, surely we can do better than that for our children. We have an obligation to leave this world a better place than it is right now to our upcoming generations. Take an example from your grandparents, you know. So the world here, this is the end of a cycle happening here. So I feel like whatever has been going on here, there is an authority figure that's really on the up and up, that is going to cut through this bullshit, and they're going to make some justice happen. There's going to be, you know, there's a judgment come in. And then we have the destinies, and that synchronicity I was talking about here. So this is talking about, are you going to follow your path, or are you going to get involved in this shifty energy? And that's a choice that you make. And so this is talking about the wheel of fortune turning, because clearly, if this is the underlying energy for you, you have followed your path, and you've been very patiently waiting for justice to arrive. And then we have the magician coming in. Now, this is an energetic upgrade, so it's not the dark magic energy. This is talking about the tables are turning now. And this is about actually using your abilities to make the world a better place, and being willing to do the work to do it. Understanding that that's half the fun. Like, find something you enjoy doing, and that would be your destined path. Get really good at it, master your skill set, and collaborate with people who also want to work together towards something, not steal from other people their work. This is destruction. So it's just like one of the tactics that's used. This is about you know, devastation of the rainforest, for example. Is this progress or what? Like, that's the energy that, you know. And again, this is talking like decades ago. So like, if you've, again, it's coming up. This is a 10-year, it's shifting. What were you doing? It's it's the 10th of January right now. What were you doing since New Year's and the 10th of January? 10 years ago. That kind of energy. And that might give you some clarity on what this situation is about, because 26 is your year to shine. Look at that. superstar. And your words are going to be in harmony. It's already shifting. It's been destined to happen. So that might be comforting for some of you to understand that this is talking, like the wounded warrior is someone that's been on a very challenging mission for God, and they've managed to complete the mission. The judgment is coming in from God himself and from the universe, and that's coming down below. And that energy is happening right now. He's leaning on this, okay, we got through it. And 26 is the year it's coming in. Plus, this also brings up on January 26, Neptune, which has been in the sign of Pisces for like the last 14 years basically, and has been in Aries and then back, and then moving back into Aries and back, is now moving into the Aries energy. And it will be on January 26th, it stays this time. And so that energy is going to change. Aries energy is ruled by Mars. It's more aggressive. It's more in alignment with the fire energy, with this fire horse energy. But what this is saying, like Pisces energy is very dreamy and very deep. It's the most mature, authoritative sign of all of the zodiac. It represents authority at the highest, and it represents traditional structure and the way things have been for like 2160 years, I think it is, moving in now into the age of Aquarius from the age of Pisces. So this is talking about the Pisces energy is like really dreamy, and this is your until January 26th with Neptune still in that sign. You have a chance to really move forward here. If you're in a situation right now, don't give up now. Don't give up now. You're so close, and it sometimes can be very challenging right before you're about to get resolution. Do not give up now. That's what this is saying. And we have the Hangman here. Get the information. Hang in there. Don't make impulsive decisions right now. Don't get into arguments with people. Don't get into this horse fire energy. It's great for moving forward in ways that you want, but just like making the decision even to move forward and showing the universe one small action, like all this energy that has been happening for the last 14 years, I want it resolved, and I'm ready to move forward, and I'm ready to put the effort in to have the resolution and move forward and have my dream. Can I please have it? This would be your last chance to be in that energy for 160 years. So it's unlikely you're going to be around when Neptune is in Pisces energy again. And then we have denial here. What I don't know won't hurt me. Yeah. What you don't know will hurt you sometimes. And sometimes you may just have known, but you just didn't want to know. Because if this is people, like this is sitting right on this energy here. And if this is people that you thought, no, there's no way that they would do this. This is my family. This is who I grew up with. These are the friends that I have known since I was young. This is the community that I grew up in. These people have known them my whole life. They would never do that to me. Okay, follow the money. Attachment. So the attachment is the karmic mother of all karmic spaces. Attachment is when, if you're attached to something, you're way more likely to abuse your power. You're more likely to, be stuck with it. And what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. That pretty much, maybe that'll be the title of this reading. And then this is talking about having the insight, using your insight. Again, you're born to be a star. Be insightful. Use your intuition in this situation as well as your logic to get you out of this prison and put them in theirs, I guess. It's sad. It's so unnecessary. Surrender. So this is about, immature competition. And sometimes some things are just, how they say that God never gives you more than you can handle. And that, you know, you need to know what you can handle and what's yours, what you can control and what you can't. And that's serenity prayer. So sometimes you just have to leave it to higher, to God and the universe to sort it out. A lot of people feel like the world is going to chaos, and it's not. It's returning back to order because it's been in chaos. And it always, there's expansion, and then there has to be contraction, and then it will expand again. And that's just the way that the world works. And then we have at the very top, yes, we're in the age of Capricorn right now. Our actions, everything that we do, we have to take responsibility for. This is, Saturn is very deep energy. And we're in the sign of Capricorn at this time of this reading. And it's talking about, there's so many possibilities within the challenges. So don't, this reading is saying, don't give up. You know, it's in the works here right now, and you deserve to have this fulfillment. Everybody does. That's the intention of the universe. Like, it's abundant. Anyway, I can hardly wait till this is resolved and it's a different reading than this. So do like and comment, and if you have received some value out of this, subscribe if you resonate, and I'd be honored if you did so. I know this isn't easy shift to listen to, and I'd rather tell you something, hey, that's better than this, but I'm duty bound here. This is about being duty bound sometimes. I'm duty bound when the energy comes out here. I'm not going to lie to you. Anyway, I will have another message tomorrow, and maybe it'll be a little bit more fun. Bye for now. Okay, Stella.